Wow, that was young Hilary Swank in the 1994 movie The Next Karate Kid. Hilary says, I was 18 then. We were all 18 at one point. Her career spans nearly 3 decades, and she's won 2 Academy Awards, thank you very much. One for a role as a transgender man in Boys Don't Cry, and the second for playing a boxer in $1 Million Baby. In the new movie, What They Had, Hilary Swank plays a woman caring for her mom who is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. In this scene, Swank's character butts heads with her father.
You want to go talk to a priest?
I'm not a Catholic anymore.
Well, there's your problem right there.
How do you know? How do you always know what my problem is? Do I do that to you? Did I march in here and say she's going in a home? If you don't like it, go talk to a priest? I listened to you, Dad. I asked you what you wanted, and I fought like hell to get it for you because you matter to me. What you want matters to me.
Boy, Hilary Swank is also one of the film's executive producers and joins us at the table. Good morning to you, Hilary. It's so good to see you.
You too.
This movie feels to me very personal for you because you've also been in a caretaking role for your own father, who had a lung transplant.
Yes, what we thought was going to be a year turned into 3 long years. My dad was really fighting for his life, and I was really thankful that I got the opportunity to be able to take time off work to care for him. But yeah, it very much mirrored this story in a way, having a crisis and a family, and how the family comes together, and it shines a bright light on the strengths and weaknesses of a family. And
on many generations of the family, too. That's what was so cool about this movie. It affected every generation, and you showed us that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this movie, I feel like it's, you can relate to it no matter what you have going on in your life, because we've all dealt with some type of crisis one way or another, and we've had to come together and try and deal with it. And it deals with family dysfunction, but the love within the dysfunction.
Well, that's right. These acute moments excavate all the history, all the relationship. It all just comes back into one moment.
Yeah, and isn't it crazy? No matter how old you get, you go back home and you kind of fall back into that role that you were when you were, and you're like, how is this happening? I said I would hold on to myself this time, but I'm still, you know, in this case, the character, her name's Bridget, she's Biddy again, and she's like, how am I this? You know, when I feel like I've evolved. It's just interesting.
Well, how is your father doing, by the way?
He's great, thank you so much. He's healthy, he's independent again, he's back to his life, and so much so that he was able to walk me down the aisle.
We saw that beautiful picture. I don't know if we can put it back up.
7 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a big moment. I cried before I even got up to the altar. And I was like, Dad, I'm not gonna have any makeup.
You were part of getting him there, right?
Yeah.
Being at his side.
Yeah, that's what you do. You know, he was there for me when I was a kid. That's also interesting how kind of roles reverse. Yeah.
What was that like, reversing the roles? Like, I mean, did that hit you, or did you sort of say, okay, they are, and now we march forward?
Well, you're not really thinking about it when you're in the middle of it until people ask and talk about it. And you know, it's obviously it's a big responsibility. You're their health advocate, and you're helping them make decisions for what's best for them. And thankfully, it ended up well.
But this movie had laughter in the oddest places, because they have a scene where your mom, Blythe Danner, who's great in this movie.
She's beautiful.
She's going through Alzheimer's, and at one point she hits on her own son.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, are we supposed to be laughing at this?
Yes.
But those are the kind of things that happen.
Yeah.
Laughing and crying, laughing and
That's
crying.
the same side of the coin, isn't it? Laughter and crying. It's a release. And oftentimes I can be crying and then fall into laughter. It's just, it's a release, and I think you have to find levity, especially within circumstances like this, wherever you can. And I know Elizabeth's family, the writer-director, they deal with their crisis like that.
That picture that Bianna just said about your dad walking you down the aisle, I am so happy for you, Hilary, that you have found love again. Did you think that this would happen to you?
Well,
Did you just reach the point that, you know, never mind?
I hoped it would happen again. I never got to the place where never mind, but I got to a different place of searching for it. I got to a place of instead searching for more deeper meaning inside myself.
Because you had always been a couple with someone.
Yeah, I was kind of like always in a relationship. And that's just because, you know, I met my ex-husband when I was 18, and I was always with somebody. And so I didn't really know how to be alone. And I think it took me learning how to be alone, learning to just love myself and give to myself what I was giving to others that wasn't working, instead of trying to make that work, trying to make myself work the best I could. And then then it happened. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's cliche for a reason.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Cliche for
Let me ask you about acting. You came back after a hiatus. Is it like riding a bike? You just get back on, there you go? Or was
It's a really good question. I have to say, we are so much what we do, right? So when people say, oh, tell me about you, I usually say, well, I'm an actress, and then I go on, to say other things. And so we realize we're so defined by that. So taking time away from that, it was scary. But then I realized I'm so much more than an actress. There's all these other things I was able to explore about myself. And it also gave me a renewed passion for being an actress. I think we can take things we love for granted. And stepping back in, I have a whole new appreciation for storytelling.
Some of the best acting skills come from life lessons. You've had a very big life the past 3 years, getting married, taking care of your dad. Congratulations.
Thank
Hilary
you.
Swank in a good place.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks.
What They Had is in, sorry, brush for time. What They Had is in select theaters October 19th.